Right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Squawkers Slam-Lines. I'm Josephine Lay and your host for this evening. By the way, we will be recording this event, as you now quite know, to be put on YouTube later. Tonight should run fast and furious. So in a moment, I'm going to start things off with a poem, followed by two of our 5 invited slam poets, Kathryn O'Driscoll and Tish Camp. Then we will have the 3 open mic slots drawn from the hat, possibly. And when they finished, we'll have our final 3 poets, Clive Oseman Becky Who, and last but by no means least, Chloë Jacquet. So we've now got to my open mic draw, Peter Lay. So I think we're going to have to go with Dane Ince.
Woo-hoo. I don't need to do a draw because there's only 3 of them.
No.
There were 7 people. There were 7 people in the hat, but there's only 3 of you here.
That's great. So it's Eddie.
So
Foreman.
I'll draw them. So
and Laura Greville. Brilliant. So we know who we've got now. So as I've already said, if there are any sounds in your home, could you mute while people are performing, but please then unmute for applause. But as I say, if you're fine and you know you are, then stay unmuted. And also there is a chat facility at the bottom, which you already know about, I'm sure, if you wish to leave any comments. Brilliant. I think that's it. So I am going to get down to reading my poem. Woo! So back in 2018, if you can remember that far back, seems like an age ago, Theresa May said, "Anyone that isn't with us is subversive." Well, I saw red and wrote this poem, called A Reluctant Revolutionary. A reluctant revolutionary, that's me. I don't want to fight. I know what's right. I just want to be free to do things my way. I avoid seditious slogans in the Daily Mail. I don't read media hype or listen to the news. I'm not really interested in the public's views. I am subversive through and through. I'm a relentless revolutionary, it's true. I've lived life in the wrong lane, driving against the flow, dodging in between the traffic, and I've never even seen the most of the signs that tell me which way I should go. I have a kind of instinct in what my life's about, a gut reaction to propaganda and the shouts of anger from politicians. I'm a quiet revolutionary. I'm shy. I see when people are mistaken, but I don't impose my insight, as I'm not that tough. Instead, I write in a world that doesn't read enough. My words slide silently off the page and bleed into the night. I won't force or fight people into believing that I'm right. I'm no dictator, just society's litmus paper. I'm a passive revolutionary, a resistor. I merely refuse to do what people tell me to. Even in poetry, I can't obey the rules. Such rigidity of form makes me mulish, so I only write free verse. I know I'll never be famous. People won't thirst for my work, but my words will be unshackled by the rules. I'm an armchair revolutionary. I'm too comfortable to worry what politicians do, but I fight when I am able, refuse the status quo, insist on certain ethics in the way I live my life, even if keeping them brings vexation and strife. The suffering on the telly tears my heart in two. But recently I've grasped there's little I can do. I'm an aging revolutionary and getting past my prime. My generation's had 6 decades of the Midas touch, living a sublime existence. And I think it's such disgrace that for a moment of nostalgia, we voted in the Brexit situation. I counsel confrontation. Become as I have done, subversive through and through, a reluctant but relentless revolutionary. And I hope each one's the same for you. Thank you. I'm no slam poet, but that was one I felt strongly about. Okay, we're going to get straight on. And first poet up is Kathryn O'Driscoll. Welcome. Now, Kathryn is a mental health awareness advocate and a Bristol Slam champion from Bath. There is also one little thing I want to say. She also appeared in an episode of Life and Rhymes hosted by Benjamin Zephaniah.
Yeah, she did.
And I watched this episode, and that was where Slam-Lines was born. So that's why we're here. So without any more ado, a big, big hand for Kathryn O'Driscoll.
Thank you. I just want to give a trigger warning for PTSD and sexual assault. Sometimes I wake up and it's Halloween. Often candlelit bright with the love of my life, and she is laughing. My heart is a sugar rush, a holiday. But mostly, I'm the jack-o'-lantern, setting fires in the chasms he carved out of me, holes in my psyche. She cradles me while I split open and hope others find light in my smile. I hope you see light in my eyes. But it's not natural. I'm just setting blazes to warn strangers of the dangers of the people closest by them. I am dying to be more than just a cautionary tale, because I miss my innards. Since he took them, I'm always limping forward in a crowd, guts trailing, gunshot afterthought speech breaking, hitting hard against the soundscape. Me too, me too, me too. If he hears me, will I become his night horrors in return? And is that what I want? Whole cities to burn, or just to be able to exhale without the fear of snuffing myself out? I find myself shaking. And sometimes I think the sky must be a lover of mine because of the way it presses down on me until I cannot breathe. And sometimes I cry when she touches me. Like an electrical glitch. Misfiring neurons, high-wiring feelings that slip, tumble, smash in confusion, walking silver linings as thin as long-lost engagement rings, slipping past self-defenses like a silver tongue, call me his corpse and kiss me. No, I'm not his anymore. Just hold me. She is home. He is just a ghost. But sometimes her lips taste like he's haunting me. Sometimes she kisses like an ink stamp embossed with the reverse of the words, I love you, and I have to remind her that I didn't learn to read that way. So quickly the intentions of the alphabet unravel between her tongue and my skin, becoming ink smudged beyond recognition. The same letters form every word he said, she says. The same letters could be used for lying, for hurting, loving, raping, for begging. I'm sorry, I'm crying again. Sometimes I'm crazy. She tells me she loves me, and I ache for a lack of fluency. She kisses me, and I hate that I can't speak the same tongue as her loving. I cry at my inability to understand words said in two different languages of intent. It all sounds the same to me. Vocabulary just seems like weaponry to harm me, and sometimes I think I love you sounds so much like don't hurt me. She says you can talk to me. I'm sorry. Sometimes I can only remember how to speak the way he taught me. Mouth open, head back, eyes shut, face wet, praying and crying again. Thank you.
That was really powerful. Please unmute if you are muted, and give an enormous hand to Kathryn O'Driscoll.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for kicking us off, Kathryn, with such a very poignant, powerful poem. Okay, straight on we go to Tish Camp. Hi Tish, are you there?
Hi,
Yes, brilliant. Now, all of these bios are sent by the poet, so please don't blame me for any of them. So Tish is a poet in sassy lipstick, boots and mouth, bringing all things theatre and word. A really big hand, please, for Tish Camp.
Woo! This one is called Letters, and this is written this evening after a letter was posted by supremacists in United States trying to identify where Black people live in order to cause them harm or death. So this is called Letters. The letters you have beside your name, are they in your PhD in psychology? Are they helping you understand the kind of bigot we got here? The homes they broke, then fled from, the jobs they never got, the criminal intent that's latent, waiting for the right circumstance, the powerful disposition of the whites dispossessed, the plague they endured to fight for shit that you greet them with on pity and don't hurt me, please. The conditions are ripe, a bad smell hangs in air. You choking on your privileged peach, spitting philosophies and pips. I don't care. Nuh-uh, I don't care. Take your screwed up supremacist child and make him sit on the naughty step in the house of justice. Make him eat every word he said in hurt to someone's Black mother, school friends, teachers, neighbors, brothers. Lick that shit up right on back in that mouth. You regurgitate hate on that white bread plate. Bring him up good, knowing empathy, compassion, solidarity, that it's cool to be different. Yeah, fucking unique. That shit that he's got is less than some others, especially the society stack. For the worse than you and worse than he, the us that are Black and some Black history. Tell him to fix up, not tool up. He's carrying heat for a march in creating Black cemeteries. That this child of yours intent to kill is your doing. You're busy in books, common sense lack, parental payback. Pithy poison letters, some after your name, do nothing to keep us on this planet. Yeah, there is difference in taking in hand supremacist tantrums and roaming these roads. The land is a garden in which we can fight to play, eat the fruit, and to live as a right every night and day. Thank you.
Woo!
Woo!
Please unmute if you're muted and give her a big hand for Tish Camp. Well, now we come to our three open micers. And we're going to start off, we did pull them out of the hat to get the positioning. And so we're going to start off with Eddie Foreman. Big hand, please, for Eddie Foreman.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are a wonderful audience. I love the poetry in everyone. Woo! Okay, this is called Elemental Ink. Poetry is fruit for the soul. Poetry is water to the seeds. Poetry is soil to the plants. Poetry is fire to the sun. Poetry is wind to the birds. Poetry is thunder to the storms. Poetry is rain to the oceans. Poetry is lava to the volcanoes. Poetry is stars in deep space. Poetry is light in the darkness. Poetry is sand to the beach. Poetry is gas to a car. Poetry is sound to bats. Poetry is knowledge to a scholar. Poetry is food to a chef. Poetry is clay to a sculpture. Poetry is music to a composer. Poetry is paint to an artist. Poetry is tune to a singer. Poetry is beats to a rapper. Poetry is a piano to a pianist. Poetry is gravity to the earth. Poetry is sight to the blind. Poetry is blood from me to you. Thank you.
Woo!
Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's been a nice poetic audience. I love it.
Yes.
Right, and we're going to go straight on to Dane Ince, please. Big hand for
Woo,
Dane.
Dane! Woo!
Welcome.
Thank you. This is Papa's daddy. I talked to a black man, and the stories he told, fighting for freedom while having none at all, how the house Negro ran the whole show because mass is just too slow to know. Still, we sail on slave ships even to today, wrecking on the shore. We say, stop it, loud and clear. We are not victims anymore. Listen to me, son, you gotta have and you gotta hear. It takes hearts pumping blood to walk through the door. This is no place for knees on necks. He quoted the Bible, the Koran, all kinds of knowledge new to me, mysteries and fables learned at the feet of elders. He quoted the last poets. The white man's got a God complex. He quoted Rahsaan Roland Kirk, blackness, BLACKNUSS, played only on the black keys. Kirk tells us there are all kinds of crosses in his old rugged cross, the crisscross, the double cross. The cross is supposed to help you get across, not cross you up. Papa's daddy, as he was fondly known, died today. COVID-19 killed him. He was 93. Oh Lord, all the work I have to do on me. I won't forget what he told me, never. You won't either, because I wrote some of it down here for you and you and you to read. Thank you.
Woo. Thank you.
Woo!
Yeah. Big hand for Dane Ince, please. And rolling straight on, we get to Laura Greville. Where are you, Laura?
Here.
Ah, brilliant. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'd like to read your poem, please.
Okay. Mine is called Girl Walking Across Europe. Let's watch a girl walk across Europe. Walk across Europe with a backpack and a cat named Hermione Wob. And as she walks, people join her, not to tell her to go home, not to warn her off the borders, but to give her flowers and biscotti and an embroidered cloak, and to walk beside her across the boot of Italy, where the sea captain did not get arrested for saving her from the sinking boat, but was lauded and crowned with roses, where the embroidered girl walks on with Hermione Wob to arrive at the Austrian border, where she is not sent to a refugee camp, but where the chancellor greets and gifts her with a handsome horse-drawn carriage, where she rides and parades with a brass band through a Vienna that throws her kisses.
Love it. Love
Where
it.
at the city's edge, she gets out and asks to walk on, calling Hermione Wob to her side, walking along the Danube with blue in her hair and honey on her lips, where she waltzes on, copper skin shining, singing an ancient chant. Thank you.
Laura. Fantastic performance, beautiful image, lovely, lovely.
Thank you.
Right, straight on. We haven't got time for anything. We've got to keep pushing on. And the next person I don't think needs introducing to most people here, but I will introduce him with his words if I can find them. Sorry, I've lost my paper. Okay, Clive Oseman. Clive is a part-time poet, a part-time comedian, a part-time queen, a part-time alien, and a full-time dipstick. Please give an enormous welcome to Clive Oseman.
Right, before I start, I want to dedicate this performance, if not the poem itself, to Leon Priestnell, a brilliant poet and friend who took his own life this morning. So, on with the poem. When this event is over, I want you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. No, it's not for poetry. That's the conventional side of me, the one who has no devotees. On YouTube, I am different. The sheer power of my preaching will leave your senses sleeping. Your judgment will be compromised. You will find yourself being hypnotized into following like sheep. And you will worship at my feet, feeding into my deceit as I fill your mind with false belief. How the virus is a hoax and all the doctors and professors have sold you a lie to give the government an alibi. And you won't be hard to coax to give me money for my research into how the mask is stealing freedom like some kind of cultist church. So expose the government agenda, expose that rogue Bill Gates, burn down all the 5G masks and stand side by side with fascist hate. Burn the masks and breathe the air. Speak your truth. The state, beware. They're poisoning the water, you know. Each litre from the tap contains 5 drops of muslin, which starves your brain of oxygen and makes you believe what's good for them. Only my special water, purified in my factory, can protect you from this tyranny. So buy my pure water, just £5 a bottle. Your confidence respected. Wake up to the tyranny. All major credit cards accepted. David Icke endorses it. It's an offer that's too good to miss. Yes, David Icke endorses it. So get rid of oppressive masks and in the taste of freedom bask. Protect loved ones from the hyped up hoax with my special natural pills. They may look like simple aspirin, but they can cure all ills. No poison from Big Pharma. No side effects, no drama, no need to feel dejected. All major credit cards accepted. Reject the narrative they feed you, the lies the government need you to believe, to cut the strings that control you. This is what you have to do. For just £300, I can enroll you on my online course to make you wise, called How to Fight Establishment Lies. We will take these tyrants by surprise. Just £300, no applicant rejected. All major credit cards accepted. So expose the government agenda, expose that rogue Bill Gates, burn down all the 5G masks, stand side by side with fascist hate, burn the masks and breathe the air. Speak your truth. The state, beware. And I will be grateful for all that you can spare. Freedom! Thank you.
Oh. A massive hand for Clive Oseman, you've done him proud, and I'm so sorry for your loss, and you are amazing to come on and perform like that. Words fail me. A really, really big hand for Clive Oseman, folks. Thank you.
I think Clive should put a bit more energy in his performance.
Well, yes, a little more maybe, especially the last word, Clive.
Yeah, I need to learn to project my voice a little bit as well.
Not so subdued.
Oh dear. Right, I'm sorry to put you in the next seat, Becky. But we have we have a new poet with us who comes all the way from France, called Becky Who. Becky's a friend of Chloe's, by the way, I might say. Becky is a British slam poet who lives in France and has a hat. Welcome, please. Big hand for Becky Who.
Thank you, guys. I don't know how I'm going to follow that, but I thought I'd give you my first ever slam poem. So it's really kind of immature in comparison to everything else, but never mind. Anyways. This morning, I am alone. I woke up on my own, but that's fine. It has to happen sometimes. We need our space, each in our own place. But sometimes it's not safe to leave me talking to myself, rehearsing arguments in my head. All those words you've never said. You might just, no, sorry. Rehearsing arguments in my head. All the words you've not yet said. Maybe words you'll never say. I might just hear them anyway because I'm spoiling for a fight. Don't care what's wrong, don't care what's right, don't care what's left when I'm done. Though I know that later on there will be tears. I will cry. I will apologize. I will say sorry again. I will say sorry again. I will say sorry again and again and again. It's just a bad day. Blame the wrong side of the bed. I don't know why what's going on is going on inside my head. Blame the hormones, blame the pill. Get a shrink to say I'm ill. You know, I love you. I always will. So sad how we treat the one we love so badly, the one who above all we should be raising on a pedestal and worshipping in all their glory, for daring to play a role in someone else's story, for their courage in giving their heart to another. For sure, if I were you, I wouldn't want me as a lover. It's so sad to cause you pain, make you want to leave. So please just believe me when I say you are as perfect as can be. And if I complain, it's not you, it's me. You shouldn't see me this way. You should just turn and walk away, but you won't. You will stay. You'll try to make things okay, try to put things right, try to make me see the light, or at least to lighten up, not get so down, not be so wound up. And then you'll give up. You'll sigh. You'll wonder why you tried. And then you'll go away like you should have done before. But this time you'll slam the door and then I'll be alone. Here all on my own with my anger and my fears. And then there will be tears. I will cry. Too late to apologize. I will be sorry again. I will be sorry again. I will be sorry again and again and again.
That flowed so beautifully. It was fabulous. A really big hand, please, for Becky Who. And as I said, last but no way least is Chloë Jacquet. Welcome, Chloë. Now, Chloë is a multicultural poet with a preference for straight talking, rhymes, and biscuits. Welcome, a big hand for Chloë Jacquet, please.
Thank you very much. I was going to do something entirely different, but then Josephine did her poem, and I thought I should revisit an old one because I was inspired by her. A while ago, on a Thursday, our now ex-Prime Minister, Theresa May, who we never actually elected, by the way, had this to say. If you believe you're a citizen of the world, then you're a citizen of nowhere. But she didn't just leave it there, adding, you don't understand what the very word citizenship means. I have to say, it made me want to scream. Now, I personally dislike politics and usually make an effort to stay clear of it. It's a personal opinion. Don't shoot me for it. And it's basically because I think it's all bullshit. Most politicians seem only to be in it for themselves, for the glory, for the power, or for the money. Even the most well-meaning ones, with the best intentions there can be, can't bring about the changes that they would like to see. They're entangled in red tape and crazy procedures and entirely stifled by the influence of others. But this made me grab a pen and write, because this is precisely the kind of shite I feel compelled to fight the only way that I know how, by talking in rhyme right here, right now. So Mrs. May believes that to be a citizen, you have to belong to a single nation. She thinks that for the world to have some order, we must all identify with a single border. But borders are man-made. Borders change with crusades and grenades, so why the hell should we be defined by an administrative and imaginary line, rejecting and fearful of all that lies behind? And what does that mean for people like me, the ones with multiple nationalities, all real, all legal, completely official, with a multicultural upbringing, which allows us a sense of belonging wherever we go? Tell me, Mrs. May, I'd love to know. And before you ask, no, I do not value one citizenship over the other. Would you dare ask me which I favour of either my father or my mother? Actually, forget passports, whether single or multiple. You really must be incredibly simple and gullible to think everyone defines their identity solely and exclusively around their nationality. Millions of people view themselves as a part of humanity, as well as, or instead of, a single country. They value a global citizenship above any made legal by a simple paper slip. Yet with your arrogance, you insult their intelligence, question their competence, undermine their values, but they are the people who choose to take into consideration people from other nations. They are the smart ones that understand it takes unity to tackle issues of climate change, illiteracy, poverty. They know that epidemics don't stop at a virtual boundary. They know that war, hate, hunger, and intolerance need a global approach to really make a difference. You are looking down upon the people who promote hope, love, and compassion, whilst you stand on your narrow-minded steeple of insularity and blinkered vision. So, Theresa May, screw you with your sectarian point of view of what world citizenship is worth when it takes all humanity to save the earth. Your words are divisive and venomous, and I think they're downright dangerous. So I'm going to continue as a citizen of the world, whether you like it or not, girl. And if that makes me a citizen of nowhere, well, you know what? I really don't care, especially if it means that you won't be there. Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant. Really big hand for Chloë Jacquet. I love the way we've started and ended with Mrs. May. Perfect. And as I put in the chat, lest we forget, because one Prime Minister goes and a worse one comes in and you forget the problem of the one before. So yeah, sometimes it's good to remember.
Yeah, and I haven't performed this in ages, so I didn't remember it off by heart. So I had the paper, and just as I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, that line about epidemics don't stop at boundaries.
Prophetic as well, goodness me. That's fabulous. Well, it's all been done. It was amazing. Thank you for all for coming to try out our experiment. This was the first Squawkers Slam-Lines, and I think it went well. I've just got to try and spread the word and get more people next time.
I love the format.
I love the format. I do too, Chloe. I think it's so punchy. It's just boom, boom, boom.
So we can't chat, I'm afraid. We just have to keep going, because I'm going to say, please unmute and give a big hand for our 5 poets. Kathryn O'Driscoll. Woo! 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 Tish Camp. Woo! Woo! Clive Oseman. Woo! Becky Who. And Chloë Jacquet. Hey! And of course, our 3 open mics, who were Eddie Foreman, Jane Ince, and Laura Bevel. The next Slam-Lines is Tuesday, the 16th of February at 8 p.m. So we'll be starting at 10 to 8, so please get here. The host that night will be one of the invited poets from tonight. Come late and you'll miss it. I am Josephine Lay. This has been Slam-Lines. Thank you and good night. Woo!